My wife said, "My ex is coming to our anniversary party. Get over it." I nodded and then invited his new girlfriend. When she arrived, my wife's face went white. That's when things got interesting. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. The thing nobody tells you about a failing marriage is how quiet it is. There are no screaming matches, no dramatic confrontations. Just slow erosion. Just distance. Just the person you sleep next to becoming someone you don't recognize. That's what happened to me over the past year. My name is James. I'm 38. Emma is 36. We've been married for 12 years. And I'm writing this because I just ended my marriage at our 10-year anniversary party. Before, the distance started around a year ago. Nothing dramatic. Emma just became less present. She was always on her phone. She'd laugh at texts she wouldn't show me. She'd come home later, always with an explanation. Traffic was bad. Had to help Sarah with something. Went to the gym. At first, I didn't think much of it. People have phases. Work gets busy. Life gets stressful. But then there was the change in intimacy. We went from regular sex to basically nothing. Maybe once every 2 weeks, and even then she seemed distant. Like she was thinking about something else. Like she was somewhere else entirely. I brought it up once. "Are we okay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm just tired. Work has been crazy." I believed her because I wanted to believe her. But over the months, I started noticing other things. She'd mention running into someone at coffee shops. The same coffee shop, twice in 1 week. She was suddenly really interested in going to the gym, the one across town, not the one near our house where we used to go together on weekends. She started dressing differently. More effort. Better makeup. Higher heels. Perfume I'd never smelled before. I asked about the perfume once. New scent. "Oh yeah?" Sarah recommended it. But Sarah hates that scent. I knew that from listening to her complain about it at a dinner party. Emma was buying a new version of herself for someone. And then she started mentioning Marcus constantly. The name. Marcus was her ex from college. They dated for 3 years before breaking up when they went to different graduate schools. Emma hadn't mentioned him in years. Then suddenly, he was everywhere in our conversations. Marcus is so successful now. He's starting his own business. I ran into Marcus at the coffee shop. He looks great. Sarah invited Marcus to her book club. It'll be nice to catch up with him. I should have seen it coming. But I didn't want to be that guy. The jealous husband who doesn't trust his wife. So I said nothing. Then came the anniversary party announcement. The conversation. We were making dinner about 2 weeks before our 10-year anniversary. Emma was chopping vegetables. Very casual. "So, I invited Marcus to the anniversary party," she said. I stopped what I was doing. "Your ex?" "Yeah. Sarah is bringing him anyway since they're friends now, so I thought I'd just be upfront about it. Invite him officially. Why would you invite your ex to celebrate our marriage?" She didn't even look up. "Because I think it's mature to be able to be friends with exes. And he's part of our friend group, now through Sarah." "He's not part of our friend group, Emma. He's your ex that you've been running into a lot lately." She finally looked at me. "Are you really going to be one of those insecure guys? Marcus is just a friend. I'm not insecure. I'm asking why you felt the need to invite him to our anniversary specifically." "Because Sarah is bringing him anyway. I wanted to be honest with you about it instead of having him just show up and surprise you." I think that's the mature approach. The mature approach would be to not invite your ex to our anniversary at all. She set down the knife. "I need you to be mature about this. Don't make it weird." And that was it. I didn't push it. Didn't want to be that guy. But I already was that guy. I was the guy whose wife needed her ex at their anniversary party. I just didn't know why yet. The research I spent the next week watching Emma. Really watching her. I saw her checking her phone constantly. I saw her stepping into another room to take calls. I saw texts that she'd quickly lock her phone away before I could see. I checked our phone bill. We share an account. There were texts to an unknown number that increased dramatically over the past few months. Hundreds of them. More texts to this number than to me. I tried calling the number once from a blocked caller. A man answered, "Hello." I hung up. I knew it was Marcus. I also know Emma has never been good at hiding things. She's not a natural liar. And the way she was acting, excited, nervous, dressing up, that wasn't how someone acts around a friend. That's how someone acts when they're interested in someone. The decision. I spent those 3 days thinking about what to do. Option 1. Confront Emma directly. Ask her if she has feelings for Marcus. Demand she explain the texts. Try to save the marriage with honesty and communication. Problem. She would deny it. She would gaslight me. She would say I was being paranoid and insecure for looking at her phone. She would make me feel like the bad guy for invading her privacy. I've seen her do this before. She's good at it. She'd turn this around until I was apologizing for snooping instead of her apologizing for emotional infidelity. Option 2. Just accept it and go to the anniversary party and smile while my wife flirted with her ex, pretend everything was fine. Hope it blew over. Maybe suggest therapy down the line. Problem: that wasn't acceptable. Not anymore. I'd already spent months watching her pull away while she pined for someone else. Option 3. Create a situation where the truth couldn't be hidden, where denial wasn't possible, where she'd have to confront what she'd been doing. I went with option 3. I found Marcus on Facebook, got his number from a mutual friend, and I called him. The phone call. "Hey man, I don't think we've actually met," Marcus said when he answered. He sounded friendly, unsuspecting. "We haven't. This is James, Emma's husband." Pause. "Oh, hey, what's up? I wanted to personally invite you to our 10-year anniversary party. I heard you might be coming with Sarah." "Yeah, she invited me. But I wasn't sure if I'd love for you to come. And I'd love for you to bring your girlfriend, Claire. I think it's important she's there." Long pause. How do you know about Claire?" "I just think it's good to include the people who matter to you. Claire clearly matters to you. She should be at the party." Marcus was quiet. He was trying to figure out what was happening. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe I should check with Emma first." "No need. This is my invitation. My call. Just bring Claire. See you Saturday." I hung up before he could object. I don't think Marcus fully understood what I was doing in that moment. But I knew. And that was enough. The setup. Emma had no idea what I'd done. As far as she knew, Marcus was coming alone on Saturday. I could see her getting ready differently that day. Took longer with her makeup. Changed her outfit twice. Did her hair twice. Seemed nervous and excited at the same time. Like she was both dreading and anticipating the night. I watched all of it and said nothing. I'd made my decision. The moment of truth was coming. She hugged him. Too long. Her hand lingered on his arm. They immediately fell into easy conversation, laughing about old memories, finishing each other's jokes. I stood across the room and drank my beer and watched my wife light up in a way she hadn't for me in over a year. Marcus looked uncomfortable, though. He kept checking his phone. He seemed aware that this looked bad. At 7:45, the doorbell rang. The moment Sarah answered the door expecting one of our other guests. Instead, she found a young woman with flowers and a genuine smile. "Hi, I'm Claire, Marcus's girlfriend. James invited me. He said it was important I be here." I watched Sarah's face shift from confusion to understanding to something like respect in about 3 seconds. Claire walked in looking genuinely happy to be there. She had no idea what she was walking into. She just knew she was invited to a party and her boyfriend's friend was happy about it. Emma was mid-sentence with Marcus when she saw Claire. Her entire body went rigid, like someone had flipped a switch. Her face went white, actually white, like all the blood drained from it. She looked across the room at me. I was looking directly at her, completely calm. I raised my drink slightly in a sort of salute. She understood immediately. James had orchestrated this on purpose. This wasn't a coincidence. This was a trap. A brilliant one. Marcus's eyes went wide as he realized why I'd been so insistent about him bringing Claire. His face shifted through confusion, embarrassment, and then something like respect for the boldness of what I'd done. Emma looked like she wanted to evaporate into the floor. I watched her take a breath and try to smile. The smile was fake. Everyone at the table knew it was fake. This was going to be a long dinner. We all sat down at the dinner table. I made sure Claire was seated directly across from Emma. Claire was lovely. She asked people genuine questions about their lives. She laughed naturally. She was warm and present and clearly in love with Marcus. She touched his hand while they ate. She leaned into him when he spoke. She made him feel seen. Marcus was present with her. He wasn't trying to engage with Emma beyond basic politeness. He was being a good boyfriend. The kind of boyfriend you show up for. Emma had to sit through an entire anniversary dinner watching her ex be happy with someone else. Watching the woman he'd chosen over her fantasy of rekindling things. Watching him light up when Claire touched his arm. The same arm Emma had been touching all night before Claire arrived. And she had to do it at our anniversary party. She barely ate. Just pushed food around her plate and watched them. I could see the emotions flickering across her face: confusion, hurt, embarrassment, anger, resignation. By dessert, she looked completely miserable. The kitchen. After dinner, people were mingling. Emma followed me into the kitchen and closed the door. Her voice was low and furious. What the fuck was that? What was what? I was plating dessert. You invited his girlfriend. You knew exactly what you were doing. Yes, I did. She wasn't expecting me to admit it so easily. Why would you? Because I needed to know what was really going on. And now I do. Nothing is going on. Marcus and I are just friends. I turned to face her. Then why did your face go white when Claire arrived? Why have you been mentioning Marcus constantly for months? Why do you light up when you see him? Her voice rose. Because he's an old friend, and you were seeking validation from your ex at our anniversary dinner. That's not, Emma. I saw you. All night before Claire got here. You were glowing. Flirting. Acting like a woman who missed having a man desire her. That's not fair, isn't it? When was the last time you looked at me like that? When was the last time you were happy to see me? She sat down at the kitchen table. Long silence. Finally, I liked how he made me feel. I waited. I liked that he still wanted me. I liked feeling like I had options. Like I wasn't just stuck. Something broke inside me. Stuck. In our marriage. That's not what I meant. That's exactly what you meant. You felt trapped. So you invited your ex to our anniversary dinner to feel desirable again. I didn't sleep with him. I didn't even, I know. And that's the only reason I'm not more angry right now. But Emma, do you understand what you just told me? She was crying now. You admitted that you needed another man to make you feel good about yourself. That you welcomed your ex back into your life because I wasn't giving you enough attention. And you never said a word to me about being unhappy. You just invited him to our celebration. We can fix this. We can go to therapy. We can. I shook my head. No, we can't. What do you mean? I mean this is over. I'm done. James, don't say that. You're upset. We can work through this. This wasn't a mistake you made in a moment of weakness. This was a choice. A series of choices. You chose to text someone you wouldn't tell me about. You chose to run into him repeatedly. You chose to invite him here. And you only feel bad because you got caught, not because you did something wrong. That's not true. I feel terrible. You feel terrible because your fantasy got disrupted. If I hadn't invited Claire, you'd still be enjoying having him here. She had no response. I'm leaving. I'm going to pack a bag and stay somewhere else tonight. And then we're going to talk to a lawyer about separating. No, please, don't do this. You did this, Emma. Not me. I left the kitchen. The week after. I booked a hotel room that night. Didn't go back to the house until Emma was out the next day. I packed a bag with essentials and moved into an apartment by Wednesday. Emma called repeatedly. We need to talk about this. We can talk to lawyers, I said. This is insane. We have 12 years together. And you invited your ex to celebrate 10 of them. That tells me everything I need to know about what those years meant to you. One mistake doesn't erase. It wasn't one mistake. It was months of choices. She tried the therapy angle. If we just get help, I don't want help saving this. I want help ending it cleanly. She tried everything over the following weeks. Tears. Anger. Promises. I'll cut off Marcus completely. I'll do whatever you want. Please just come home. I stayed firm. I love you, she texted one night. I didn't respond. Now, 6 months later, the divorce is finalized. We split assets 50-50ths. No kids, so it was relatively clean. She kept the house. I kept my sanity. I moved on. I'm dating someone new casually. Nothing serious, but I'm open to it. We go on dates. We laugh. There's no drama. It's refreshing. I actually sleep well now. I don't wake up at 3 a.m. with that knot in my stomach. I don't check my phone to see if my wife is texting someone she shouldn't be. I heard through mutual friends that Emma and Marcus are texting again. That they met up for coffee. That maybe something will happen between them now that I'm out of the picture. Honestly, I don't care. That's his burden now if he wants it. I ran into Sarah at the grocery store once. She seemed embarrassed, like it was her fault for having brought Marcus into their lives. I told her it wasn't her fault. Emma made her choices. I just made mine. Some people said I was too harsh. That I moved too fast. That I could have just talked to her more. That I should have worked harder to save it. But here's what I know. Emma wasn't going to tell me the truth. She was going to keep Marcus in her back pocket indefinitely, keep seeking his validation, and keep pretending everything was fine. She would have done this for years. Or until Marcus decided he wanted her. Or until she got comfortable enough to actually pursue him. The only reason she admitted anything was because I forced the truth out into the open with Claire's presence. Some people need to see themselves clearly. And sometimes that clarity only comes from consequences. Not anger. Not ultimatums. Just consequences. I don't regret any of it. The reflection. People ask if I'm angry. I'm not. I'm relieved. I was trying to save a marriage with someone who didn't respect me. Emma was comfortable taking me for granted. She only panicked when I actually left. Not because she loved me, but because she lost the security I provided. I'm better off alone than with someone like that. The anniversary party was supposed to celebrate 10 years together. Instead, it marked the end of it. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do isn't fight harder for someone. It's walk away. And I did. No regrets. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.